Push me out to sea, baby. It's the best thing for us both. I'll be happy out there, baby. Fish below and stars above. And you'll be happier without me. Push me out to sea, baby. There's nothing left for you to do. We did our best with our love, baby, but it brought us down so low. And you'll be happier without me. Now wash up on your beach one morning, strange shell lying on the shore. You put me to your ear and I'll whisper, what today I just can't say. Then you throw me back into the water and forget you ever found me, and forget you ever lost me. Push me out to sea, baby. It's the best thing for us both. I'll be happy out there, baby. Fish below and stars above. And you'll be happier without me. You'll be happier. You'll be happier.
Hi, my name's Phoebe. I'm just wondering whether I can make an order over the phone and pay for it, and my dad, it's his birthday today, to pick up today or tomorrow. When your hair doesn't fit into the shot. Great. Hi Honeybunches. How are you? It has been a while. Apologies about that. If you're new, my name's Phoebe. This week, let's just get right to it. It wasn't great because last Friday I started getting SIBO symptoms again, which took me back to the rather traumatic experience of last year. Brought up lots of things like, is this my life? Like 2 weeks of relatively normal lifestyle, quality of life, and then an awful traumatic, can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, like protocol again, not being able to eat a thing. Luckily I got an appointment very quickly and I was going to be retesting this week anyway, so yes, I've started addressing those symptoms, and long story short, I don't think it'll be anywhere near as bad as last time. I seem to be starting to feel better like straight away. The improvement I've seen in like a couple of days is really encouraging, and yeah, I think even though digestion wise it was great the last 2 months, like I haven't had great sleep with Merlin, and have been like consistently stressed about one thing or another, so in that sense not too surprising, and I'm feeling a lot lighter and better, and just taking it a bit slower and eating slightly more gentle foods, aka taking the advice that I wrote down and documented in my latest ebook. That's mildly ironic, and as you can imagine though, I was feeling super low over the weekend when I was processing all of that. Had many mild freakouts, and I'm sure people with chronic illnesses or any sort of conditions that are lifelong, you might say to yourself like, when am I gonna learn to like slow down at the first signs of said thing? But you just don't want it to happen. You just don't want to have to go to the place where it flares up and deal with that. We don't live in a world that facilitates that, with productivity being like the be all and end all. So I don't think it's surprising that it's near impossible to like take those early signs and adjust your life accordingly. Obviously a lot of privilege in being able to do that anyway. This hair, far. And last thing, but like I just in the last month really enjoyed having a super full appetite again and being able to eat everything and not have like the mental hangover from that whole experience being very restrictive. But anyway, in the last couple of days have been in a better place. Like I can still work towards goals, maybe just not at the pace and aggression that Phoebe version of me would like. A little update on Merlin, he's going good. He's still teething. I feel like I'm responsible for making half of his teeth fall out when we're playing with a ball, and I just hear like whatever the sound is that's the opposite of a thud. And then I'll like see a bit of blood. He doesn't seem too fazed by it. He is still slightly trumpy and we're still struggling with getting him to not jump up on the couch. I would love to have him jump up on the couch, but we just don't want him to be jumping up on the couch of his own accord. Also, he's getting mildly like playful, not aggressive, but he just thinks it's a game. And yeah, if we have guests over or elderly people, we don't want him just like jumping up on the couch when they're sitting there. Yesterday he showed the first signs of getting the message when dogs don't want to play with him to his level of energeticness, and I was so proud. I was like, far out. I can see the polite can take you everywhere future. I took him to the beach last night while the sun was setting. Might do that again tonight because the weather's really nice, and we found a dog that was like the perfect match for him, and it was just heaven. I'm taking him to another sort of dog obedience class, and yeah, one of his actual siblings from his litter goes there. More Merlin updates from my Patreon, so apologies if this is repetitive for anyone. Yeah, the trick we've been learning this week is shutting the door. It's quite aggressive, you'll see it later I'm sure, but that's been fun. Another new thing that I've started recently, which I'm glad I got myself to because I wasn't feeling great, but I've signed up to this horticulture course. It's just one evening a week for 12 weeks, and it sort of dapples in a different topic each week, like propagation, bulbs, trees, etc. It's anywhere between half an hour and an hour and a quarter drive, and I get home at 10, which for me is late, but I got myself there. Very thankful for a phone that has a very on it GPS. I have not experienced that before, but yeah, there were a lot of roundabouts coming home at like 9:30 at night, and I didn't know where I was, but I made it. The first class honestly was very academic and not that interesting. I'm looking forward to the more practical weeks. My hopes that I would like meet people and make friends weren't too entertained. Most people are a lot older or doing it because they work for a council, and I don't know, part of their job relates to gardening, and so they're doing it for that. Not so many like home gardeners, or if they are then they're a lot older, but it's kind of nice to have the broad studentship demographic. As you probably heard before, I was just buying my dad a few birthday presents from the shop he likes, as it's his birthday today, so we'll probably do a Skype or Zoom later. Not going to stress how much I can get done today, but hopefully I can make a nice vlog because I miss connecting with you and doing an edit that I'm proud of. So I hope you enjoy and you're doing okay. I've just been sitting down and adding a bit more to my latest food essay. I've started writing some, and I have too many ideas after reading this book, both drawing on my own experiences but weaving in like commentary on Australia's identity and or lack of, like learned attitudes to food, social practices, gender, sexuality. You can just weave everything in. So I wrote one and submitted it to a magazine for young people, VoiceWorks, which was called Australia, the Land of the Carbohydrate, and that was talking about Australia's love of beige foods and sort of linking that to Australia's rather beige, empty identity and Identity Crisis and Leadership Shit Show, and then some others that I endeavour to write, although it's been quite hard to like find the uninterrupted time to sit down and actually write them as best as I can. Is like Cooking on Holiday, car food. I have a lot to say about that. Cooking while crying, like dinners at 6 p.m. being quite an institution in our house, and the after school snack. Anyway, I think Merlin's up already 11:30. He only sleeps for like an hour and a half at the moment. Used to be about 2.5 hours, and he's very much hit his destruction keen stride, digging so many holes, pulling out so many plants, and nibbling holes in cushions. So he needs to be kept busy. I slept in this morning a bit because didn't intend to, but I caught a bit of Q&A last night because Yasmin Poole was on and they were talking about rape culture and the sexual assault allegations happening in Parliament and the women's marches that happened recently and all that. So it was a good episode. But yeah, if you were in Australia or in that space and you don't know who Yasmin Poole is, like, jump on board. She's like our own AOC. She's like a year younger than me or something, and she intends to go into politics, and she's so well spoken and just on it, and it's very exciting. Although I do feel sorry for her in that she's getting that like young person is so smart, wow, like patronizing sort of response from older people, and I kind of want to slap them and just be like, just listen to her and like get on with the discussion, you know? So yeah, I did sleep in a bit this morning, but I'm getting up pretty frequently between 6 and 7 to let Merlin out, make sure he pees and poos outside. Anyone else with a highly food motivated and genuinely appreciative dog find it really hard to show restraint at dog stores, like pet stores. I couldn't hold back. Future Phoebe just wants to say, side note, that Harvey liked his food but wasn't really fussed for extras and didn't really like toys apart from balls. So I was finally purchasing one of these gentle leaders where the clip's on the front, just so if he's like goes for some food and stuff, it's much easier and you feel much better pulling him away from it. And then, ignoring the slightly gross, gnarly, dried various snacks, he loves these Hessian bags we have in the backyard, so got him a Hessian toy. And then a hopefully non-destructible and non-annoying squeaker like rubber dino. Merlin, up, come here. Come here. Down. Sit. Down. It doesn't make you do that. It's 8:30, I'm about to have a shower. We had a nice family tea and took Merlin to the beach. I brought him because I'd heard that the queen bee of all recall enticing treats is like deli meat, so I bought him some vegan bacon that doesn't have like onion or anything in it, and it's mighty working well. Even when he's playing with other dogs, he comes back to me when I say let's like move on. Not to turn this whole video into an infomercial, but I finished my just like the normal Sukin shampoo. It was like a massive bottle. I'm pivoting and trying something so different. Not the normal, but the Sukin volumizing shampoo. Wow. For fine and limp hair. One of the early signs that if I was a bit more on it, would have picked up on is in the last month being more stress. My hair's like fallen out at a greater rate and it doesn't feel as voluminous. So isn't it just like such a feminine experience, probably just human experience, pinning all your hopes on like shampoo, but it's shampoo and hair is hair and it's not going to change. I don't know, trying a new hair product and then like waking up and seeing the effect. Such a hoot. Anyway, it smells really nice. It has pineapple, mango and papaya. So at the very least, it'll put some tropical grooviness into the cooler months. Well, my review so far is that it smells fabulous and it lathers so much better than the other one, so it's Sukin. I'm not expecting miracles and I'm not pinning all my hopes on it, just to clarify. Just it feels very indulgent and kind of fun to try a new shampoo and other beauty related stuff, hair care especially, every once in a while. I intend to get around to trying like a shampoo bar. I'm not too sure about that in terms of would it knot up my hair more. Probably not, I'm just overthinking it, but rubbing my hair with a bar. Any curly haired folks have any review thoughts on them? I wrote in my Friday newsletter on Patreon today how for the first time this week I've sort of started thinking about like it's kind of frustrating because I don't really have a diagnosis, it's more like a condition that's coming and going, it seems, and might never totally go because it's about balance of bacteria and is affected by stress and sleep and what you eat and all those pillars. It would give me more clarity if there was some sort of more official diagnoses. Not that I'm wishing a chronic illness on myself, but yeah, this week I've been thinking about a little bit, like, do I need to be thinking, I mean, it sort of seems that way, I need to adjust my expectations. This is very big and epic and hopefully will not be applicable, but like a lifestyle career that caters to flexible hours and low stress, and what that means for me is obviously different to the next person. But then there's also the thing of like making enough money so those things are possible, because yeah, I don't even know if what I have would be classified as a chronic illness. Hopefully not, but just, I guess, immense sympathy for people navigating that and maybe feeling like they are needing to adjust their expectations of themselves going forward and their life, not to get meta. And hopefully there's so much time and so much energy and so much to, I mean, there is so much to look forward to. I don't mean to load all my depressing thoughts. I just I find being practical, getting any sort of clarity for myself, a very actually constructive and helpful thing. And if that's what I need to do, readjust my expectations as a planner. I've got a plan, like I've got like some security in knowing what the future looks like. On a really depressing note, popped up on my Instagram today that some report which Erin Brockovich has had some been a part of somehow, with all the like water pollution and like chemical in our waterways and soils and systems, work that she does, saying that like sperm counts will drop to 0 by 2045, so reproducing won't be a thing then. Like, can the Handmaid's Tale just stop coming to life? And I'm not someone who like laughs at that. Like in the comments people are like, I don't see what the bad side of that is. And like, yeah, haha, I get your little comical comment and I get your point, but like, it's so dangerous because people in positions of power, at least at the moment, aren't trustworthy. Even like benign men like Scott Morrison, I feel like he's got no clue assessment gives him a free pass a bit, when like still dangerous. It's still dangerous, like the language he uses, saying women should be thankful they're not being shot with bullets when they're protesting. And still, we've had this discussion like over and over again, saying how I'm a father of 2 daughters. Like, it's just not funny. I feel like I just had a ramble like I did in my university vlogs. I have quite a few friends who are younger than me and still in uni and live in that busy life, and I kind of miss it because here's a thought I had today, that when it comes to like health things you have, there are certain thresholds with mental health which I feel like you can deal with and still be very functional, perhaps in not a very healthy way. But like, I've had anxiety since I was like essentially clocked over to being a teenager, and it's manifested in different forms, but like had it through uni and was like experiencing anxiety, but for me, I don't get anxious about filling my schedule with things I enjoy, like this, for example. And I was enjoying my uni work, like being busy and having a full plate in that way. So I could like do so much, which wasn't always healthy. I'm not trying to buy into like capitalism's hustle culture, but it's also so normalized for young people to be busy. And so when you have a physical, or your physical health is poor, and you actually can't like do things because you don't have the energy, you physically feel unwell. Yeah, it just manifests differently in that it affects your productivity, unlike some mental health conditions. Not saying one is better than the other, or trying to make a hierarchy. I don't know what my point is. Just, yeah, sometimes I miss making weekly vlogs like I did in uni and having actually intellectual things to say, because I was studying and in that space, and like I haven't been in an academic space for a while. And so even though you still have all that under your belt, like the ability to think critically, you just get out of practice and maybe lose a bit of confidence. Okay, total ramble, so sorry. It was so nice to vlog today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, Gemma Walsh, wow, with a plate, I can't say that. Gemma Walsh said in a video, yeah, just when she has now moved house, she'll miss connecting, and that's like the word. I always feel funky trying to like make some like wholesome explanation of what this, like the good that comes out of this, and it's connection. So sending a big hug, thank you for watching, have a wonderful week, and talk to you soon.